Alright, so it's JC with Quad Force ATV, and I'm out here with John, and we are at our local little pit area. This is my first time coming here, but he showed me where it's at, so definitely be coming back. So I'm just out here riding the brand new Brute Force. It's really the first time I've taken it out, and man, what an awesome machine. Very powerful. Whoa, very cool. John's having a good time. Yeah, this thing is sweet, man. So we got plenty of storage, power steering. Like the other, there's another storage area right here. Got another one here. 749 cc's fuel injected, twin cylinders. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
That's right.
There's Big John out here riding too. Enjoying the beautiful day. Not too cold today. It's about 64, 65 out. So yeah, really enjoying the ITP Terra Cross tires. They're doing pretty good, I think. It's all around decent tire, I believe. It's a good radial. Yeah, here she is. Very smooth riding bike. The power steering is pretty responsive. Even at slower speeds, it feels, you know, very effortless when you're steering. Suspension is really good on this thing. It's a little stiff. It's built more for sport suspension and just you know, overall comfort, but it's not too bad. It's got the preloaded set adjustable shocks all the way around on it. It's got a 7.5 inches of travel in the rear and 7.1 inches of suspension travel in the front. Ground clearance isn't the best. It's about 9 inches at the center, but it's not too bad. Plan on getting a brush guard for the front for this, because the fronts of these are all plastic. This is one of the lightest big bore twin cylinder ATVs that they make. I think this one comes in at 693 pounds, and I think the other Polaris 850 is almost 100 pounds heavier than this. So this is actually pretty manageable compared to the 850, even though it has a bigger engine. The Brute Force will hang with it very, very well. These are considered a sport utility more than just a straight utility bike. So if you look at the center, they move the gas tank to the back, so that helps with the as far as it being tippy and over, you know, over rough terrain. So that helps with the handling of the bike. I put the air intake directly right here in front of you, and the center of them is a whole lot more narrow than a lot of bikes are, so you can move around on it pretty good when you're riding. Got great full floorboards on it. It's got the metal cleated pleat pegs right there in the center. This one has a front and rear brake. So your rear brake is on the rear, on the left hand side with a park brake. And you got your hydraulic front brakes on the right. And the cool thing about these, compared to a lot of machines, is if you look in the back, if you look on the left and look on the right, there's no brake. And what Kawasaki does is they have their sealed multi-disc wet brake. So the rear brake is actually sealed, and the rear differential that runs in an oil bath. So you never really have to replace them. I think the Kawasaki dealership said that they've never had to service the brake in theirs. They just change the oil, and that's pretty much it. They've never had any issues with these. These also have a awesome sway bar in the rear. Definitely helps with the handling of this thing, because this thing has a lot of power. It definitely can be a little bit to handle if you ain't careful. So not something I'd recommend getting for someone that's not experienced rider. I mean, it's almost thrown me off because I wasn't expecting it to do what it was gonna do. So, but yeah, before I even took it out the dealership, I made sure I put some ITPs on there. The stock tires are just bias plies. These are actual radials. And my other Kawasaki's got the ITP mud lights. Terra Cross is the main difference between this and the mud light is this is a radial. The ITP mud lights are a 6-ply tire, so they're not radials. So this one's pretty sick. This is the SE version, so it actually has paint instead of just regular plastic, solid plastic. It has the candy coated shocks and the A-arms. So if you look up in there, I don't know if you can see it or not, but those are actually painted. Good area for plenty of room for a winch down there, or whatever you wanted to put in the front. So that works great. And one thing that Kawasaki does that no one else does is they have what they call the progressive front differential. This is not electronic in any way. So what it does is whenever you apply pressure to this diff lock, you can give it less or more depending on how you want to do it. So if you push it all the way back, that's full diff lock. Halfway, a little bit more, you can let it all the way out, completely off. So you can control how much torque you have to the opposite wheel. When you let off, it's limited slip front differential, and until when you push this back, it's locking all four wheels in, and you can just let it out and it's good to go. Like I said, it does have a park brake. It doesn't have a park in the transmission. It just has low, high, neutral, and reverse. But a lot of vehicles are actually going away from a park brake now. So that's nice to still have those on there. Great gauge pot on these. I love how they set this up here and here. It's perfectly angled at you, and the sun don't really reflect off of it a whole lot the way it's kind of harnessed in here. So that's good. You can always see it pretty good. And it's a normal gauge pot. I mean, you got your four-wheel drive indicator. It tells you that, you know, if you got power steering. It tells you your fuel gauge, tripometers A and B. It's got a clock, your odometer, and it's got your hour meter. And also tells you when your maintenance is needed. Two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive selectors here. And yeah, so really enjoying it. Super happy about it. Still like my old Kawasaki. It can't replace it, but this thing here is a whole different beast. So, but other than that, it's JC with Quad Force and John out here enjoying our awesome Saturday out here riding around.
In our pits.
In our pits. This is my first time coming here. So, what do you think about the area, John? Pretty nice, huh?
And I remembered how to get here. Wow.
He remembered how to get here. We didn't even get lost.
No. Sis will be proud of me.
Yeah, this is real nice out here. I'm really excited about it. So, but anyway, happy riding. Once again, it's JC and John with Quad Force ATV. We'll see you out there on the trails.